Yeah, that's Pele.
Now this head it just won't do. Trying to make it through to the other side. I made it easy. Now this head it just won't do. Trying to make it through to the other side.
Yeah, they got it bumping.
I made it.
Yeah, they got it bumping. Now this head it just won't do. Trying to make it through to the other side. I made it easy. Now this head it just won't do. Trying to make it through to the other side. I made it.
welcome. You're welcome.
Ooh, I like how that track sounds. Track sound.
Check, check. What's going on, everyone? Hopefully you can hear me. My apologies if I sneeze or anything allergy related. My allergies are hitting me harder than a Sypooda beat. So It's rough out here. Quick announcement, and it's a dope announcement. If you've logged on to your BeatStars panel at all lately, which I'm guessing you have because you've been uploading stuff, because all of you are diligent producers. There's that Guap Dad contest going down, the Guap Dad 4000 contest. I get mad when people get call me DJ Payne without the one, and here I am calling him Guap Dad minus the 4000. That's wrong with me. And you can win 4,000 in prizes. I see what they did there, and a studio session with Guap Dad 4000. So that's super dope. The deadline to submit is October 22nd. So you have plenty of time. You have 22 full days. More info at guapdad4000.beatstars.com. Marcus is in the chat. He just commented with the link. So click on that, bookmark it, and then once you're done watching this conversation that we're having today, get that remix done. Okay, without further ado, let me bring in a man whose name I just learned how to pronounce because he posted something on his Instagram. Did you posted like a video recently that showed the origin of your tag, right? And it was someone screaming Sypooda in a microphone, right?
Sure, yeah, that's my man, AJ, who currently lives in Hawaii, my brother. Yep.
Okay, shout out to AJ. Yeah, we got to give credit to the people that make our tags. I've heard crazy stories. I know with me, why I have different tags. Now I'm just going with the Drake thing, and that's why it's like he called me DJ Payne, so I'm just not even gonna bother about the one because it's freaking Drake. But like the damn that hurt one, heck yeah, that's my big brother screaming into a mic at a friend's apartment way back. So it's cool knowing the backstories of some of those tags.
Yeah.
What is the origin of your name?
It's actually two of my nicknames put together. So Sy and Pooda.
Okay.
It's been a debate in my family about who created Pooda. You know, it's between two of my aunts, but I'm not into the politics, so I don't know.
That's probably funnier than it should have been to me. How long have you been making beats?
Honestly, for probably about to be going on 3 years now. So not too long.
Okay, that's interesting. So not even that long, especially given that you have a kind of classic. So, well, I shouldn't define your sound. How would you describe your sound?
I mean, it varies, man. I mean, you know, I'm doing one thing on YouTube, but off of YouTube, I'm kind of doing whatever. So YouTube style, I would say more soulful, gritty, vintage type of sound. Overall, man, I'm real diverse with it, you know.
Okay, so I mean, would you call it classic almost, or I mean, it's a relevant sound today,
Right? Like I want to say modern underground hip hop, 90s vibe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that your style of beat is kind of heavily sample based and organic. At least traditionally, the ones that I'm hearing. When you sit down to make a beat, what does that process look like for you?
So I gotta put the phone up because that's a real distraction for me when I'm creating. I say I sit down and I'll find a sample first. I'll start with the sample most of the time and take it, chop it, and arrange the drums. You know, I've tried the drum first method and it works sometimes, but I'm more of like I need to hear the melody first, how everything sounds, the chop sound, and then bring the drums in after that. And I program in Machine. After I finish it, arranging it in the Machine, I export it to Logic and do the mixing, add the effects and things like that.
Okay, so you don't mix in Machine. You just produce it. Okay.
I don't think Machine is for mixing, man. Shout out to Native Instruments, though.
That's interesting. So why go from Machine to Logic? Why not just make everything with the Machine in Logic?
Yeah, I wish I could do that, but oh, you said make everything with Machine in Logic. It's a couple hoops you got to go through to kind of do that, you know. and I don't know. I have to learn it more, I guess. But to me, it's been easier to just do this. It may be a little time consuming, but
Okay.
it's just been working for me.
Yeah, if it works, it works. I do a lot of stupid stuff in my process. So when you said you start with the sample, you know, a sample could mean a lot of different things, and I know you've been asked, and I hate this damn question.
I know what you're gonna
All
say.
and yeah, where did you get that sample from?
Right.
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure you get that. I get that comment all the time, and I'm just kind of a stupid back. But I know one time you had this incredible flip. I don't know if you posted it on YouTube, but someone did ask the forbidden question, which I feel like as producers, like unless you're somebody that I've really gone through something with, don't ask me
Mhm.
that question.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of like it back when I was, you know, fingers in the crates. I had close friends that wouldn't tell me
Yeah.
stuff. I had close friends that I'm about to discover a break that they have, but they want all for themselves, and they'll be in the corner like you don't want that record. It's trash.
Yeah, it ruins the fun if you know giving out the samples. You know, let them
Yeah,
do it.
I agree, but sometimes you're sampling uh in non-traditional ways, so sample kits, that kind of thing. How do you prefer to get or discover sample makers nowadays? Because it's not all just about, you know, using all records. There's some amazing sample creators that create vintage sounding tracks.
So I do a lot of drum broker stuff, and what I try to do is I look at the older ones, the older packs that they have, because you know people kind of forget about them, and it's like when you bring it back in, and it's like, oh, where did you get that from? And it's like I'd use the one from like 2000 and maybe 13 or something, or like that. And just recently I started using trap packs for the boom bap type of vibe, because people not doing that, you know. And it kind of meshes the worlds and brings a different sound to the boom bap realm. But other than that, man, I lurk on a lot of producers accounts, and maybe they'll tag the library that they use, and I check it out. If I like it, I use it, and then look for similar things. You know, it's still a still a process today, but you know, it's fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's talk about your sound in a more general sense. A lot of producers, and I say this because I get asked this question all the time, or I get contacted by producers who have this idea in their heads.
Mhm.
A lot of producers have this idea that in order to sell beats online, they have to make trap beats or Drake type beats, or basically what they see is a popular style or a popular sound.
Right.
Did you feel that way when you first started?
Uh, you know, I didn't really think about it because I didn't do it for like the money aspect. I really just did it to I guess to get my name out there, to keep creating music. And yeah, I never thought that I would be able to live off of making a beat in general. But you know, nah, I didn't really feel that way. But I like looking at it now, I can really see why somebody would think that. But and honestly, the bread and butter is in the niche type of vibe. Griselda is like everybody wasn't doing that, so I could see why I'm kind of flourishing how I'm doing now. And yeah, you know, it's a lane in the boom bap realm.
So you would say that it's actually an advantage on your side to not make what's deemed as the popular sound.
Right. You could say it's less competition, you know, if you want to, although it's building now. But yeah, definitely.
And were you kind of an early adapter to that type of beat?
Can you explain what you mean by that?
In the sense of when you well, we'll get to SEO later. It's just when you started, these numbers are crazy. They're like jumping up and then having and then doubling and tripling. Anyway, shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone tuning in.
Ooh.
When you first started uploading your type of beat, did you feel like you were one of the few people really targeting that sound?
Honestly, no. I feel like I was slightly late to the party. I mean, it wasn't too many people doing it, I guess, but I felt like I was late because I remember when I started, I'm like, oh dang, this guy has gotten over 100K views. He has 20K subscribers. Like, damn, I can't compete with that. But so now, I mean, I was like in the middle, but it's the thing is that it's just even today, it's not really um a sound that everybody's looking for. So it really doesn't matter when you hop in.
Okay, so take me back to that moment when you looked at the competition and said, "Okay, wow, there are all these people that are way ahead of me."
Mhm.
That would be discouraging, and it is discouraging to a lot of people. And that's why I go back to these conversations I have with producers here and there, where they're just discouraged before even starting
Mhm.
because of this perceived saturation, this perceived um, competition, and the fact that they're starting from zero. That just is a terrifying prospect. What made you say, you know what, I don't even care about that. I'm just going to try it out?
Mm, I guess because I like YouTube wasn't my end goal and it's still not today. Like what I really want to do is actually work with these artists. And I feel like having a different goal in mind and not saying like YouTube is my end all be all helped me say like forget about the numbers, just put in the work and you're gonna grow. So I think that's what it was.
All right. How when did you start selling beats online?
Um really I want to say last year, maybe a little bit before the pandemic. Yeah.
So that was soon. That was recent. How long did it take from when you started until you selling beats became your job and music became your main source of income?
Okay, yeah. So, but let me say that before, like a year before, I tried to sell beats on a different platform for maybe like 2 months or so, and it was like, this isn't working, I'm gonna stop. But I came back to it a little bit before the pandemic. But your question was when I start to sell beats like as a living. Okay,
Yeah, how long did that journey take?
right. So, like I said, a little bit before the pandemic is when I had started doing it and was making sales here and there. So a few months later, like fall of what was that 2020, the sales were pretty good for the whole summer, the whole spring. And me and my girlfriend moved to an apartment. I told her, I really don't want to work a job anymore. And she said, okay, I mean, what you gonna do? I said, I mean, I got this refund check from school. I got some money that I saved up from Beats, and yeah, that was pretty much it. And I said, I'm gonna just try it, and I literally just tried it, and yeah, it worked out. But that whole process, I want to say, yeah, it took really like 4 months, honestly, of just consistency.
When you say consistency, let's because you took a risk, right? You not only put yourself in a position of risk, you also put your partner in a position of risk because you were living it together, and obviously sharing um, both the benefits and the consequences of you going off and venturing into entrepreneurship as a producer. Uh, what kind of things did you do to make sure that those 4 months? I mean, obviously, you had no idea that it was only going to take 4 months, but how did you step your strategy up, or how did you plan? What habits did you form? I know I'm asking you a lot, but
Yeah.
walk me through that period where you were just kind of not necessarily back against the wall, but you were having to now really face the reality that it was either this, you make money making beats, or you might kind of be ass out.
Yeah, and so I will say it was a grind. I call it a grind, like no sleep. I was working during the time that I first started making beats, selling them, and it was just a full of grind, full of gaining knowledge on how to use these instruments, how to chop a sample, what people would like to hear, things like that. And I would work the whole day, come home, do music, go to sleep, just do it all over again. And my bad. So your question though was, can you repeat your question? My bad.
I asked a bunch of questions. Just what do you think? What do you think made it possible for you to transition into full-time producing in such a short period of time? What habits did you form? What knowledge was the most important, do you think, that you learned?
Oh, okay. I would say really you got to put the blinders on and just go hard. Uh, yeah, I say YouTube was really a blessing for me because not even because it allowed me to sell beats, but it made me stay consistent on a schedule. I think that was really key because at a point in time I was uploading beats every day, and although sometimes it can be depleting creativity for me, I was good because I was learning, listening to music every day, and things like that. So just doing that and just the best lesson you're going to get is just from experience. So I guess I'll just say just making those beats every day is what really kind of pushed me to get better. And then I seen the growth of the numbers on YouTube. I seen people start to pay attention. All of that kind of motivated me to keep going, I say.
Here's what's interesting to me about what you're saying here. I think a lot of people, if they were in that position that you were in, they would really focus on the marketing elements of their music career, whereas you focused on the creative elements and improving your sound, improving your musicality, this and that. And that's what worked out for you. What made you focus on the quality of your music rather than the quality of your marketing?
I heard the beats people were making on YouTube for that realm I was in, and I'm like, this is not that good, but it has a lot of views, So I'm like, if I bring a different flavor to what this market has, I think I can do something, and it worked, you know.
Yeah, I think that's an important conversation that we don't see being had enough. It's a lot
Mhm.
of marketing talk. It's a lot of selling talk,
Right.
not too much talk about identifying your own weaknesses or niches in the market that you could improve upon just by stepping up your musicality. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, what were some mistakes that you were making when you first started making beats versus what you learned to improve once you really dove into your process?
In terms of like selling the beats, you'll say.
No, in terms of making what did you improve on?
Mm.
What did you identify in your old process that you fixed moving forward once you really started diving into the market that you were uploading beats into?
Okay, yeah, something I'm still learning even today, which I probably won't stop learning, is the mixer and mastering process. That was something that really slowed me down at first because I was learning so much of how to make music in machine and things like that. I was kind of forgetting about the other aspect of like the mixing part, not having muddiness, getting the middle frequency down, making it loud as possible without distortion. That was because that was a whole nother thing for me. And I'm like, damn, I just learned how to do all this machine. I learned how to use Logic. I was kind of draining myself. But and at that point in time, I was using Lander. like for every beat. So what I would have to do is keep exporting from Logic and putting it in Lander and just A/B testing it, seeing which one I like better, the high version, the compressed version, and listening to it. And it took up a lot of time. So I said, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I have to learn the mixer and mastering process, and it helps speed up the process.
Okay, so this question is coming in through the chat. I just want to condense it a little.
Mm-hmm.
So you start selling these old school sounding beats in 4 months. You're making a living doing it. Was it all organic? Did you pay for ads? Was any of it paid marketing?
No, at that point in time, nope. I didn't get into the marketing aspect until probably a month or two after I was making money from it full time.
Okay, and then I'm skipping all over the place. Skipping back to the mixing and mastering conversation. Now you're obviously mixing and mastering in Logic. What have you kind of learned from that process? What's your mixing and mastering process look like now?
Just a lot of EQing, a lot of leveling, of course, and Isotope Ozone has been my friend. That's really helped me. I think y'all should check that out, man. But yeah, somebody said now you just need ozone. That's the truth right there.
I keep bringing this up because I'm jealous of all the people that there were 3 people that won a giveaway. Shout out to Isotope. We had an Ozone 9 giveaway here, and I know Cloud9 was one of the winners. I don't see him today, which is strange, but yeah, they gave me a free copy of RX8, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't have the new Ozone, so
you got to
people
get
that got it. Well, I'm jealous. It's the 9 just looks amazing. They have some insane features that I was just like, wow, that doesn't even sound possible, but
it's dope.
I can imagine.
Nah, definitely.
I want to find a comment from. I feel like this person might know you personally.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been a musician since you were a kid?
Yeah, I played a whole bunch of instruments. I don't remember anything from it, but I played the guitar, I played the piano, I played the violin, and yeah, and I was not a drummer, but I love the drums. But yeah, I don't remember anything from that time, but yeah, that was a big impact on me. I was really bred into music.
Do you have a musical family?
No, but I will say my family kept music around me. You know, as a young kid, I was in Jersey. My grandmother just had soulful music playing around me all the time. My older cousin was a huge influence on me. She listened to rock music. She listened to Wu-Tang, to pop. And that really influenced my sound today, where I like a variety of things.
Shout out to your auntie, by the way.
Oh yeah, shout out to her, man.
Okay. So you label your beats as Griselda, BSF type beats. You've actually ended up working with not only some BSF artists, but also Benny the Butcher himself.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk placements. There are a couple, I believe. Tell me about some of those and how they came together.
So, man, a lot of the like verified ones mostly came from YouTube. So I got Young Roddy recently that just released. That was from YouTube. Me and him kind of built the connection, and we got some other things that we're working on. Daylight, that actually came from YouTube, coincidentally. RJ Payne, that didn't come from YouTube. I reached out to him, but I sent him a beat from YouTube and he ended up using it. And
I'll be done. I was gonna reach out to you and be like, "Hey, do you want to work on something for RJ Payne?" Because
word,
yeah,
yeah, you should. He's a killer. That man is a
yeah. Were you on his last project then?
Not his last one, but the one before that.
Okay, I wonder if we were on the same one.
I was on Beautiful Pain 3, I believe it's called.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Then we're not. We'll get on the next one together then.
Right. Yeah, he's a beast. But yeah, a lot of them came from YouTube, man. And other than that, just connections. You know, I'm working with a dope artist now. I don't know if you heard of him, Leaky Bands.
I haven't yet.
You should
I
check
mean,
him out.
now I have.
Yeah, right. He got music with Roddy Rich, I believe Gunna, people like that. And me, him, and another creative artist called Don Smith, we're working on this project called No More Free Game. And the crazy thing is, I just told you he worked with Roddy Rich and people like that, but you know, he's a New York dude at heart and really is able to capture the old school sound that I kind of go for. So it's dope. I like that, you know, we can really come together as musicians and turn music into something else, you know?
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Someone made a comment I thought was cool. Let me find it so I can pin it. So Daylight, with regards to the Daylight placement, was he searching on YouTube then? Do you know how he found that track?
I have no idea. Honestly, I do not. He had to be, man, unless somebody he's associated with sent him the beat. You know, that could have happened too, but I don't know. I didn't even know he listened to Griselda.
Okay. And then with the Benny track, I just want to know the story behind that, because that was, I think, a relationship that you built up just by somebody leasing your beats, right?
Yeah, my guy, One Shot Ace, he actually hit me up and he didn't tell me he was gonna get Benny on the track, which I appreciate, because you know most dudes will tell you, hype your head up, blah blah blah. But yeah, he had hit me up one day after he leased the beat, and he's like, "Yo, let's connect. You know, I got Benny on that joint," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I hear that all the time, whatever." But he sent me a video of him in the studio with Benny at the time, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'm sorry if I can't curse up here, but it's crazy because
You can, but your aunts are in the chat, so
oh yeah, let me pipe down. But yeah, it was crazy because, bro, like literally, like I said, I had went to a Benny concert. I connected with Benny literally a year before, and I told him that day, like, "Yo, we gonna work together within a year." You know, you probably don't remember it because you know you get people that say dumb stuff like that all the time, but you know, I meant it, and I tapped in with myself mentally. I started to manifest and really believe, not to sound all cliche, but it's true, and I made it happen. So as of now, I'm still working. You know, West Side Gun is definitely another one that I really want to connect with, and yeah, we're gonna make it happen, man. Like everything else.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the manifestation stuff on here a lot, but I'm like, I don't know if we want to get into metaphysics.
We can talk about that on the side, man. I'm an open book.
Okay. So let's talk YouTube then. Did you only start uploading beats to YouTube 2 years ago?
Was it even 2 years ago?
According to YouTube, I went back to look at your very first video, which was a Playboy Cardi remix. I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
I remember that. Yeah,
I think that was your first one.
Okay. Yeah, that wasn't when I was consistent selling beats. That was just me trying to do things. But yeah. So yeah, I would say, but the YouTube selling beat route really didn't happen until like last year.
Which is kind of amazing because I'll be honest with you, I'm so sick of YouTube, and a lot of us who have been uploading beats to YouTube for a while now are frustrated with how YouTube is limiting our views and kind of burying our videos. And it seems like your channel has been steadily improving, even though, and a lot of people ask this too, you know, if they start a channel, producers, if they start a channel and it doesn't do well at first, should they just abandon the channel when they get serious, or should they just keep using the channel? Clearly you just kept going with the channel, you got more consistent, and things improved, and it looks like your YouTube reach and engagement have steadily both been on the up and up.
Definitely. Yeah.
So now that you've been doing it for a little while, what would you say has really helped your channel grow?
One, consistency, like I said before, that's like a given. And number two is I really tap in with the people that support me. Um, I feel like just having that connection with them really keeps them coming back. I don't really like the whole salesy approach, like just coming back and talking to them when I'm trying to sell a beat or something. I don't really do that. I don't even market my type beats like that anywhere. It's just more of I'm building connections with people and they respect who I am as a genuine person and they keep coming back. So I appreciate them for real. Salute to everybody that's tapped in from YouTube, man.
Okay, so let's jump into that then. How do you connect with people? How do you stay in touch with them? How do you have these ongoing conversations with them?
Yeah, that was a big problem for me growing up. I was always able to make friends, but I never really kept connections just because I was the only child. I didn't really need to interact with anybody like that. I have myself or cousins and things like that. But keeping the connection, I'll say the fact that we have a common interest and a common goal really helps keep a conversation going for one. And then other than that, I mean, the fact that I really like their music. I'm not gonna associate myself or talk to you if I don't care for your music on a music level. It's just, a waste of time. So I think the fact that we have a common goal for one and the fact that we like each other music really helps us stay connected.
So in terms of just in general staying in contact with customers, how
Mhm.
do you do that? Do you have email lists? Do you just reach out through DMs? What do you do?
I do have an email list. I use it very infrequently. I need to keep updated with that. But other than that, oh, my YouTube community posts is very key. I'm just up there talking, giving either advice or like motivation and things like that. Like I say, I don't never really sell anything. I just talk to them. But yeah, so mostly that. And other than that, I do use my email when like say if somebody were to buy a beat a month ago, I might hit you up the next month and say, yo, what's the update on track and things like that. But that's the only thing I'm really doing with my emails.
Okay, let me. I've never actually covered YouTube community posts on any of these
Oh
sessions.
wow, that's a gem then.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that. What's your YouTube community post strategy, and how does that work in practice?
See, the thing is, it's not even really like a strategy, like I said, to sell beats. It's just more to engage. And I do a lot of polls that's based around the underground scene, the boom bap realm which I'm working in. I do polls. Um, I ask about things that related to the artist. I remember one time I asked like, what are you thinking about when you are first going on stage? Stuff like that. Really just things that you're gonna tap in with rappers, you're gonna tap in with the producers, and yeah, stuff like that.
And what are the results of doing that?
It's great for me. I mean, people always engaging. It's like really a community.
Yeah, but you think that contributes to
The
people,
sales,
not necessarily the sales, but at least watching your videos more often, being more dedicated and active subscribers, that kind of thing.
I would say so. Yeah, I'm just staying in your face. I'm having genuine conversations with people. And yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. If somebody was doing that to me and just talking to me like I'm a normal individual, yeah, I'm gonna come back. So yeah, I never really sat down and talked about that aspect, but I think producers should really, if you're producing on YouTube, really take advantage of the community tab.
All right, let's talk keyword research, because that's a big part of YouTube as well.
Mhm.
Your videos rank on a lot of search terms, including Benny the Butcher type beat, Davies type beat, West Side Gun type beat, etc. How do you find keywords that work for your videos?
I really, I, hmm, I just do artists that I can hear on the beat, pretty much, or artists that I like. I don't even care if there's competition in it. To be honest, if it's within that realm, it will work. Like I've did weird mixes like a Freddie Gibbs, Benny, and Pusha. Even though that kind of relates with the drug talk type of realm, but the beats that I made for it didn't really sound like something that I could actually hear them on like that, or that you would hear them on the normal. But for me, I'm like, I could hear this dude rapping on this one day. So I would do that, and yeah, I mean, other than that, just keep it kind of connected. Dave East has a song with Benny. Benny has a song with Freddie. Benny has a song with Pusha. Freddie has a song with Pusha. Just keep it in the realm. And yeah, that works.
So you're not even using research tools to check on how competitive a keyword is or any of those other factors?
I use vidIQ, but
Okay.
it's not a big part of my process. Besides, if I'm trying to get tags to put maybe in the description, which I just started recently. But other than that, man, I'm just kind of doing me and just seeing if it works and just staying consistent.
How do you title your videos on YouTube?
Artist, X artist, maybe X producer type beat, or sometimes it's just artist, X artist type beat. And I really do that depending on how long the title of it is. I don't want to give the people too much to look at where they're like, all right, let me skip this. I don't know what he's going for. So yeah, so depending on how long the title is, I do one or two artists, or two or three artists.
So if you had to give a producer who's just starting a YouTube channel some advice with regard to keywords, what would you say the most important steps they could take would be?
I would say for one, keep your keywords within the same realm. Don't do a Benny and maybe I don't know, Anderson Paak type beat. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's looking for that for one. They don't have a collaboration, and they're in two different categories of music. You got to keep everything consistent. That's what I'll say.
Okay. I noticed on some of your beats on YouTube that some videos are marked as sold, and I assume that's an exclusive sale. What does it take for you to sell exclusive rights to a beat?
For one, I really have to like your music. I don't sell the beat exclusively if I don't like the track, to be honest. And that's one. And number two, maybe if you have a feature up there, you know what I'm saying, I'm more willing to sell it to you exclusive if you have like a notable name. And then number three, I guess the price. Yeah, the price, because I have like a kind of set price of where I'm at right now. And if you can't really do it, it's like, okay, that's fine. I got these other lease options available for you.
All right. How do you have that conversation with somebody if you don't like the track that they came out with? What we had this conversation with on the songwriting panel. How do you give constructive criticism to a customer without burning that bridge?
Right. And I feel like, I'll say this first. I feel like rappers really need to open their minds and be okay with somebody having a different opinion. Even producers, like, it's okay for somebody to feel a certain way about music. It's subjective. So, I tell them like this. I'm like, I give them the positive first. Like, okay, you did this well. I like this, but I think you could still work on this. I feel like that's the easiest way to go about it. And most of the time they understand. But I'm not going to be rude and flat out say, damn, this is trash, and tell you what I don't like first. You know what I'm saying? That's a recipe for a bad relationship.
Have you ever had regrets about selling an exclusive beat where, you sell it exclusively and then the following day the views jump 10,000 on YouTube or something. You think, damn, that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's happened, bro. It has. And so now I don't like to sell things immediately. And really, I don't even like to sell all my YouTube beats exclusively because it's like some people actually don't understand that like the beat is still was released before. So people do need to understand that if you're buying an exclusive from YouTube, it's not per se an exclusive if I made a custom track for you, you know?
Yeah, and then that becomes a problem with copyright claims and content ID, and then people
Right.
are mad at you. And I mean, I
Yeah.
get angry messages from people who get unlimited beats, and then they're like, "Why are you still selling it?" And it's like,
I've had so many times, man. But it's all about just being upfront with people.
yeah,
Because I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to scam you. It's just that's what the business is.
yeah, and I think a lot of people expect us to be scamming them because there is a minority of producers who or a minority contingent within the producer community where some of them are, I guess, making not so straightforward or transparent deals.
Yeah.
Some of the YouTube ads where it's like, I'm giving you 50 exclusive beats, and it's like, no, you're not. There's no way. Why are you using that word? So
Yeah, making us look bad, the one that's being authentic with it,
Yeah, unfortunately. So moving on from that, I noticed something interesting on your BeatStars profile, which was that your basic license is $45, but your regular premium license is $50. So that's not a big difference. What's the psychology behind your pricing structures?
I'll say this. I think when I first started, I started too low. You start off and nobody's paid for your beat before, and you're like, damn, this is too expensive. On top of you're not making any sales. So it's like I feel like 45 is higher than a lot of my competitors, but it's like it's what worked for me because I feel like that's what it's worked. And then I'll say I go the fact that the 45 is higher than what other people are selling. That's why it's only 50 for the other. I think the premium license. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. Pick your poison, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, and I'm sure those prices change. You ever have deals, sales, anything like that?
Yeah. Currently, I have a buy 2 get 1 free, and then I think a buy 3 get 2 free. And here and there, I do the buy 1 get 1.
How many beats would you say you make a week?
That varies, man. How many beats a week? Maybe like 20, because I sometimes I can make like 3 a day, but they're not full complete beats. Like I'm not exporting all of them to Logic and mixing and mastering them. It's more of like I'm crafting ideas, especially when it comes to the sample chops. It's like there's so many different ways I be wanting to do things. Do I want to add drums? Don't want to leave it no drums, So yeah, but I would say maybe 20 beats a week.
And it looks like Twitch is acting funny. That's why the views suddenly just dropped by half.
Oh damn!
And now they're coming back. But someone is saying, Beats by Yav said what happened. Says they went offline. So, boy, I guess you have to refresh on. Who am I talking to? If people can't see it, they can't see me talking. But I think if it does happen, just hit refresh. I don't know what's up with Twitch. I got to write them a strongly worded letter or something. So with regards to it looks like I'm holding a whistle. With regards to, I don't know what that even means, to your upload schedule. I know you said when you first started you uploaded a beat every single day. Are you still sticking to that schedule, or has that changed?
Oh yeah, that's definitely changed. It was getting hard while I was in school. So during that time, I had to change it to once every other other day, I believe. Yeah, once every other day. So that's really where I'm at right now. And sometimes, honestly, I miss a day, unfortunately, even though I shouldn't. But so I don't like to force it anymore. When I first started, it was okay because I was growing, but now it's like I'm really tapping into making a quality beat. Even though I will say this, another thing, beats for YouTube are can sometimes be different from beats that I'm making for projects or something like that because people are looking for a certain sound on YouTube. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. In order to grow, you got to stay within a certain realm of things. So it's like, damn, I hate
So
when I do.
you're experimenting less on YouTube.
Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. For the most part, I'm still trying to be innovative for what I'm doing, but I will say I can do a lot more when it doesn't come to YouTube because it could be a dope beat that a rapper that I'm personally like cool with would kill, but you put it on YouTube and the masses don't like it. So, it is what it is.
Got it. So where would you say most of your sales come from? I don't know if you're actually looking at the analytics or anything, but in terms of just based on the conversations you're having with customers, are most of them coming from marketplace, YouTube, combination of both, even split?
Yeah, most of them is definitely YouTube. I'm looking for other avenues to kind of the Twitch still acting funny. But I'm looking for other avenues to kind of expand and get my beats out there. But a lot of it is YouTube and maybe just word of mouth, people spreading it.
Okay. Um, what's a typical day like? What kind of schedule do you impose onto yourself on a daily basis?
Currently, I'm waking up between 6 and 9 a.m. I have two dogs, so I gotta do the whole dog thing. Get them back in here, feed them, then I eat, and I say probably about 11 o'clock. I'm in the studio, and when I didn't have dogs, I'll just be in the studio all day. My girlfriend might be at school or work, and it's just me just all day in the studio. And you know how it is when you in there, that hour, feels like a second, and then that 6 hours feels like 30 minutes. So it's just constant like working, maybe looking at videos on how to chop this sample, looking for samples. It's just really music all day. Um, I had recently had surgery, and that allowed me to kind of take a break from music and kind of clear my head a little bit. So now I'm kind of just getting back into the swing of things and being like consistent mentally. But yeah, all day is pretty much music and my girlfriend, maybe friends, call my mother, family.
So you did have surgery recently. It has something to do with what your
Yeah,
esophageal lining narrowing or something.
yeah, in my small intestines. When I was
Oh,
young,
okay. It was in the GI tract.
yeah, I was diagnosed with an inflammatory syndrome in my intestines, so it's kind of had to relate to that. But yeah, had the surgeries to prevent a blockage. Everything is good now. I'm eating, I'm moving around, I'm healthy. Thank God, thank everything. Oh, we might have broke up. Oh, you mess with it?
Oh wow! So it just kicked us out of StreamYard completely. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
it froze on me. I was like, yo, you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about your surgery. Okay,
Yeah.
and now our viewership just doubled. So I today is just a twilight zone in terms of technology. Anyway, shout out to everyone sticking with us because this is kind of that was scary. Um, but other scary stuff, being hospitalized. How long were you in the hospital for?
Uh, I think 7 days, man. It was brutal too
Oh
because I
wow.
couldn't eat. I couldn't eat before I was in the hospital, and
Mm.
couldn't eat or drink. So yeah, it was a mental challenge. It was hard. You know, it put you in a dark place. I didn't. I was doing music. I didn't really want to do it, but I tried. Um, yeah, it was difficult, bro. Then physically the pain. It was. I had to learn how to get up and walk, stuff like that again. Uh, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw a post of you in the hospital bed with a laptop and the machine on your lap.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, and I'm a private person, so that was big for me. But it like I said, I like to tap in with the people that support me, like let them know what's going on, and let people know, like, man, for one, you don't know what people have going on in their life, and for two, that was a hard situation for me, but what music was my main motivator, and it's like you could really just do anything if you keep a good mental positive mindset, keep your mind on the goal.
Yeah, and I guess what kind of struck me too was that it was it's like you had the option to, I guess, work because you loved making music so much and it was your job. So it was kind of like you had a kind of higher degree of freedom than you would in other jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, so around let's go back to March. Around March, you dropped a track called Egomaniac. And it featured some rappers, including Graph. Uh, you captioned the release with the following statement: "Let's change what it means to be a producer in 2021." What did you mean by that, and how did that relate to you dropping this song?
Okay, so I always tell producers that we need to start moving as one, a business, and two, we need to start moving as an artist. So that's really what I've been trying to do. It's been a little slow for me right now, just with all the other things I'm doing. But yeah, I think we need to start getting our face out there more, uh, and just letting people know who we are. So yeah, I guess that's just what I mean. Moving more as an artist and not playing the background so much.
How did that track come together? Because this was different from just selling beats. Now suddenly you're getting features, you're actually releasing music, you're finishing a full song.
Mhm.
What was that process like, start to finish? How did you pick that beat? How did you recruit those artists? How did you release it? So forth.
Um, I don't know. I made the beat just like any other day. Uh, Graph, I believe, was offering features at the time, and this was before I was even making like money off of music, really. And I just said, okay, I'll risk it because I would like to drop an album one day as a producer. Like I always felt that way. And yeah, hit him up. He gave me a pretty good deal on the feature. He sent it back. It was fire. So after that, I met an artist named B.A. Bad, which like one of my homies in this music stuff right now. And he yeah, I mean he's one of them artists that you just believe in. I felt like he had the same sound that I was looking for. And I hit him up and asked him if he wanted to be on the track, and he made it happen, killed the verse.
And then how'd you get it mixed and mastered?
My man, I think my man D Polo mixed and mastered that. D Polo, I don't know if you know V Dawn, but it's his engineer. He works real close with him, and he mixed and mastered. But I need to learn to mix and master vocals myself. It will save me money, save me time. But yeah, it was homie.
V-Don is a producer, right?
Yeah, work with the likes of Griselda, ASAP, Davies. You
Okay.
know.
Okay, we're kind of running out of time. Someone wanted to know about your drum selection, and I did have a question about that too. What are some of your favorite drum kits, and how do you select drums when you're making a beat?
I'm still kind of learning the whole sound selection process. That's like a real big thing for me recently. But drum kits I use. Oh, I will say the Beat Butcher. Of course, everybody knows that. I try to kind of stray away from it recently because, like I said, it's just mimicking the Griselda sound a little too much for me now. Everybody uses it, but maybe here and there I'll use his kick or a snare, something like that. Other than that, sometimes I use Alchemist's kit. I just recently heard of this sample pack from a guy named Count. I don't know if you heard of him. Yeah, and then other than that, Tay Beast of TDE. His
Okay, word.
is fire. Yeah.
So you did a beat cook-up stream recently on YouTube. Was that a first for you, or have you been doing that more regularly?
That was definitely a first. I wanted to see kind of how people interact with that type of stuff. And I'm gonna be doing more of that. That's another way to kind of engage, if you want to say your customers, your supporters, your artists.
How did that go?
It went well. I was up there for probably 3 minutes, but it was I seen, recurring faces in there. People said they want to see more. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I just gotta find a way to get the camera set up right where I could, get the machine, get what's on the machine, software, stuff like that. Make it a little more professional.
So it sounds like you had a pretty busy year. What would you say are some of the biggest lessons you learned with all the changes you're making, with all the progress you're making, with all the new things you're learning?
I would say biggest lesson. I would say stop comparing yourself to others. I think that if you just put on the blinders, it really will help you stay on track and grow literally the fastest. Because if you're worried about somebody else, you know, it just affects you negatively and kind of slows you down from your goal. You're worried about their goal, their sound, things like that. If you focus on yourself, like really, you can increase how you work exponentially, in my opinion.
And that's something that you struggled with early on.
Yeah, it was pretty normal. I feel like it's worse for me now because I've
Mm.
grown so much. I'm like, okay, who's the next guy that's coming up? Who's the next guy? And just looking, and not even in a negative way, but just interested to see. And I feel like just checking people out too much does slow me down. So it's something I
Okay.
got to put on myself.
What's the best way for people to connect with you, check out your music, check out your beats, join the community, etc.?
A nice cat in the back, but
Oh,
yeah.
she just jumped.
I was Sypooda really on everything. Twitter is Sypooda, SYYPOODA. Instagram BeatStars, Sypooda, SYPOODA. And if you want to email me, sypoodabeats@gmail.com. Email is in my profile on Instagram.
Once again, I appreciate you. You actually reached out to me to make this interview happen, so I appreciate that, and we scheduled it months ago. So
Yeah, I
thank
appreciate
you
you
for doing that.
yeah, thank you for tapping in, man.
Yeah, much continued success to you. Appreciate you sharing your experience and wisdom. Shout out to everyone in the chat. In spite of the technical issues, it looks like the majority of you stuck around. I think we lost a few people. And then we have some. Spell your name out quickly because someone just said side Puda. I'm like, no, he's not the side. He's the main. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, SYPOODA.
Cool. Once again, shout out to everyone for joining, especially our special guest, Sypooda.
Yes, sir.
Guapdad4000.beatstars.com is the contest. You have until October 22nd. Yeah, thank you for bearing with us. Eighth Life says it was worth having to refresh a few times. We got to figure this out with Twitch. I hope it's just a glitch for today. Thank you very much for sharing the experience. Sorry, I'm trying to read the screen. Sorry if it was a mistake. I don't know what that means, but I accept your apology, whatever it was.
Yeah, thank you for everybody for tapping in.
All right, I'll be back same time, same place next Thursday. Dame's on live on Monday. Always free, always archived, so you can check these out on all of BeatStars social media as well as my YouTube as well. Appreciate you. See you next time. Peace.